Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming back if you've been here before, and if you haven't, thank you for watching. Either way. Anywho, what I wanted to talk about today, because it's been since, I don't know how long since I've posted a video, but this is part of what I would like to start doing again is posting videos and sharing information and, I don't know, just kind of put my little presence here in the YouTube world. And I'm starting now. It was my New Year's resolution. I'm aware that it's the end of March. I do things differently. Anyway, okay. What I wanted to talk about today is something that is driving me a little crazy, and that is when people engage you for spiritual discussion and decide to no longer engage you and go on a completely different spiritual path, never update you, never circle back to why they decided to go on that path, and pretty much just act like conversations never happened. They never said anything, and here we are. And never give any full explanation on the path they decide to go on. You just hear from other people. So this sounds very specific, doesn't it? That's because this is specific to me. A family member of mine, some while ago, wanted to explore more of a pagan path, for lack of better words. I'll put some terms around the conversation. That's not how they presented it, but that's what it was. I answered the questions. We talked on multiple days. We talked for actually a couple weeks. Sort of, it was one question, then that led to others, and they would let me know that they've been exploring these topics a little bit more with somebody else in their life, and now they're on this path of wanting to get more information. They feel as if, Christianity, or more importantly, the church, has profited off of lies to people, and they felt duped. They were struggling with the overall premise of Christianity when I was speaking with them. Fast forward, we're hot and heavy on these conversations via text, messenger, and actually phone conversations. They stop calling me. Then I get a call, and the terms are changing. The term demonic, the uncertainty of who I'm communing with. When I speak of spirit and ancestors is raised, the concern and question. Am I sure it's not a demonic influence? That was never brought up in other conversations. I'm okay with that because you're still learning. And that means you've taken what we've talked about and you said, you know what? I've got to put this up against what I know. I'm not offended. I was a little offended by the demonic piece of it because I don't follow a path that has anything to do with demons. So, side note, when I see videos or I see things that people are like, oh, you can talk to a demon. Okay, that's fine. A lower level entity, because that's really what I think and that's what I explain. Do I think I'm communing with a lower level entity? No, I'm vibrating too high and I have fail safes in place. I didn't go to, Harry Potter on her, so to speak, or too, extra talking about, spell work and alchemy. I didn't go that far into it because you got to meet people where they are. If I started spouting off some of that sort of stuff, I know I would have lost this person. So I didn't do that. That was the last conversation we had about that. Fast forward even more, months have passed. We don't talk as much anymore. This is a family member for me. We don't talk as much. Then fast forward even more, we don't really talk at all. And the next time we do have a casual conversation about a big thing happening in their life, and I am family, so they're sharing it with me, is extreme homophobia. Other family members are telling me about these conversations. They're back to the Bible. They're doing dream interpretations. So they're all over the place. I don't care what you call yourself anymore or what your path is. Actually, I don't even care anymore what your path is because at this point, that's a personal path for you and I don't care. What I do care about, and the whole point of the video is, why do people waste your time like that? I'm not even going to talk about, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to talk about it. This is the second time this has happened with this person. Years ago, 3, 4, maybe 5, I don't even remember, years ago. Maybe it's 5 years ago. The same person came to me and said they wanted to know what I was into because whatever they were into don't seem to be working for them anymore. They're not having a connection, so they like to do some exploring. Very honest, and I shared a book. They had that book for a month, brought it back, never said a word to me. Said, oh, thank you. Next thing I know, they go to church every Sunday. No explanation. They were younger then, I let it go. So here we are now, and I don't hold grudges. And if you really want to know something, what are you going to do? Hold it against somebody? No. So here we are again, and a similar situation happened. And I won't be surprised if another situation happens, because clearly you're not being fed spiritually. That's why you keep deviating and wanting to know more. At one point I thought, well, maybe if I explained it this way, maybe if I did go all in Harry Potter, maybe it would be more exciting and fascinating. I'm glad I didn't do that, because that person now is unraveling everything that I've ever told them just up until that point in those couple weeks of conversation, along with anything else that they've learned through media, the Illuminati, all that stuff. All of that, and it is basically become the foundation of their faith system, anti those things. So I don't know if I probably should have done that, because I think I might have made things worse. They would have become probably, even crazier. It is hurtful, though, because you've wasted my time, and you didn't even give me an explanation as to why you chose this other path. What led you there? And if it was something that has nothing to do with me, that's fine. If it did have something to do with me, why not let me know? I shared with you, I gave you that information. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos and people talk about in the comments, people asking the same question. Some of them, for lack of better words, are one-on-one questions. If you would have just looked in the previous comments, you would have saw someone ask the same question and answered it. And even though they're the first time they're seeing this video, come on. If people have been making videos for years and you're asking basic one-on-one questions and we're on some advanced conversations, yeah, I would get a little annoyed as a YouTuber as well. And say, come on now, go back and look at the videos where I have like a video one-on-one. I have a titled video, all your questions answered here, But people don't want to look. People, they don't want to read. They just want you to give them the information. And I definitely understand that. And I think that's what happened. They wanted information. And since I didn't give it in a format that kept their interests, and they weren't willing to do the necessary work to formulate their own opinion, they got tired of the researching and the spinning of wheels, and decided to go back what they knew, what was familiar, as they had done years before. It's disappointing, because it's lonely out here being a solitary. It's lonely out here being the only one in your family who practices the craft. It can be lonely. I've been doing it for years. It is what it is. But it was, it was actually like catnip to me that someone else in my family was interested. But, outside of my daughter, who has, some interest, she's, but not anywhere near where she's ready to go do anything formal. I got her on tarot cards. It's manifestation work. And she's kind of stayed at that point. She hasn't really gone much further. And that's cool. Outside of that, nope. That's it. Most of my family members practice some sort of folk magic, but they don't think they do. They don't identify. They say it's a gift from God or Jesus himself. And you know what? Maybe it is for them. I'm not here to criticize. I'm consistently criticized, though, but I don't criticize. But all of that to say, if you are someone who happens to find me in this crazy YouTube universe and you stumbled upon my video, I would just like to say with you, if you are someone who is asking someone who practices spell work, magic, hoodoo, voodoo, Wicca, alchemy, if you are someone who's approaching them and you want to know more information and you felt like you've kind of reached your capacity of the information, okay, that's great. No worries. That's awesome. And you've asked questions where there's been an exchange, a dialogue, and you choose not to ever respond to that person again or decide to go with a different path and not even share after that person took time out to explain and give you answers and give you a little bit more probably what you asked for and share actual materials with you, you're horrible. You're selfish. You basically, that's like stealing. And it's not even about charging, but it's just it's like you're a vampire. Whatever you're doing with the information, it doesn't even matter at this point whether you're just using it for comparison purpose, but just common decency. Hey, follow back up with that person and let them know. Shoot them a text, you know what? If you're, too chicken shit to say it to their face, you know what? I decided to go a different direction. I mean, we talked about this, but I just, in my heart, I feel like I need to go this way. What can anybody say to that? Follow up, though. Say something. This family member and I, our relationship is seriously strained because, honestly, I think there's a part of me who's still looking for an explanation. Does she owe me one? No, but I'd like one. If it was a stranger, I'd probably get over it. But you're my family. Why are you being such a horrible person about this? And you know me. You know I'm a nice person. You know I'm sensitive. You know I'm someone who will tell you anything, share my resources with you of anything, spiritual, money, whatever. Why wouldn't you just follow back up with me? And to answer anybody's question who's watching this video and wonder if I asked them these questions, no, I haven't, because I don't feel like I should have to bridge. I don't feel like I should have to do more. I did try to engage and I was shut down and I was insulted. So I've kind of just let it go. I don't hold grudges, so I'm not angry. It's a hurt feeling and it's an annoying feeling. Anyway, please leave a comment because I'd love to know if other people are going through anything remotely like this. Again, if it was a person I was talking to over, social media or something like that, I wouldn't take it so personal. But with a family member, it just pisses me off. Anyway, that's what my video is about. Just wanting to share. Thanks.